Welcome into the Eric St. Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports studio. Impact Power Sports, find them at impactpowersportsmi.com. They'll sell you a Yamaha golf cart. And you can put whatever you want on it, a customized Yamaha golf cart. Customized wheels, customized paint job, customized graphics. They can put a Hemi in it. All there at impactpowersportsmi.com. Their dealership is on 14 Mile Road in Rockford, Michigan, right in the middle of nowhere. Happy post-Father's Day to all the dads, both who have passed on and are with us now. We had a bit of drama as we did not go to my dad's for Father's Day. That was a big plan. I was very excited about that, to see Dad and hang out. All of that canceled, though. One fell swoop. Madison, who was supposed to go with us, well, Madison came down with COVID. And the timing of this couldn't have been more sensational, because I was actually putting my card into the thing at the grocery store to buy all the stuff, and then I paid for it. And right at about that same time, Pooh Bear was in conversation with Madison, telling her mother that she's just tested positive for COVID. So I turned around, and she goes, Dinah says, we got a situation. I go, what's up? Madison has COVID. I go, now, I have made the mistake before of going to a place where, venturing out when the family had COVID. And it turns out we got people sick. So I'm like, well, there's no fucking way that I'm doing this. I'm not making this mistake again. So immediately canceled it. Now I've got all this food, and I'm like, well, I'm going to take it back. It's $88 worth of ingredients for the big Shish Kebab Festival, the Slaughter the Turks Eric Zane Show podcast, Shish Kebab Festival. Nick asks me, what variant is this one? I don't know, and I detect the sarcasm because I know you're like a COVID denier and generally a cock. Shut up. Cole says, why did she even test? It's 2025. Because, dick, if we go to where my 90-year-old parents are, father and stepmother, and get them ill, and then they, die, that's not great. Bunch of COVID-denying, anti-vax fucks in here right now. I cannot believe this attitude. So then, I'm like, I'm not gonna risk it. That's why she wanted to determine whether or not she was sick before she visited her loved ones. Dumb fuck. I actually had a conversation with Charity Scam Mike, and this was a conversation. He goes, I wouldn't even have admitted it. I would have just come. It's just the flu. He's one of those morons. And so I go, uh-huh. Is that right? Yeah, it's just the flu. And I go, well, first of all, dickhead, if I had the flu, I wouldn't go. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's the logic you're dealing with morons who think like that. Nick says you cannot have COVID if you don't take a test. Knowing is what makes you sick. How can someone who actually has so much acumen in various important fields be so blatantly stupid? That's my question. It makes me think that being an electrician is easy. Cole, with some snark, says, does she test weekly? David writes, did you all test? No, you fucks, we don't need to. We don't have any symptoms. We're fine. I'm not going anywhere. I stayed home. Are you idiots suggesting that we should have just gone? Because I would seriously doubt, maybe I'm wrong, maybe you're that stupid, that you would tell us to go to see Joanne and my dad knowing that we are exposed to it, or even bring Madison. Can you maybe explain that one to me, dickheads? Do you think that we should have gone to our Father's Day celebration knowing that we were exposing these individuals who are elderly to COVID? Is that what I'm being led to believe here by the chat? Piano Fingerbanger is here. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee. He still wants to know how I know who he is. Says the amount of idiotic comments in this chat is pretty impressive. And no, he's not sending me a picture of his girlfriend. He says that's too much. I'm not going to do that. David says if she had it, others could have it. Exactly. Matt says a real science-denying chat here trying to create an easy super spreader and kill Meathead. Shame. Exactly. Well, anyway, that's what I was dealing with. So, Dickhead Nick adds, just stay 6 foot away and wear your double mask. It renders it powerless. God damn it, Nick. Rich says, if you're worried about exposing your dad and stepmom, I hope you are not going out in public exposing everyone else to it. It's a great point. Fortunately, I haven't left the house. But the difference is, if I do expose other people to it, it's okay because I don't know them. I mean, let's be honest here. If I did go out and I interacted with people and I was COVID, I did have COVID, which I don't think I have COVID. I don't give a shit. I mean, because I'm not going to know if those people are going to actually contract it. Well, out of sight, out of mind. I don't know. Jeremy says EZ does not go into public. This is true. That trip to Meijer was it for me. Well, anyway, by the time Sunday rolled around, Madison tested negative. So a lot could have happened there. Could have been a false first test. Could have been a false second test. Could have been she recovered, got it out of her system. Who knows? The important thing here is I've got $88 worth of food. So we had Father's Day at my house. And this is a photograph when I put all the food on. Look at that. That looks like the cover of like a magazine about shish kebabs. The fuck just happened? My God, is that spectacular. I don't have the shrimp on yet. I ran out of room on the grill. Besides, the shrimp cooks really fast. So I kind of just yanked something off of it as it cooked and threw the shrimp on. It was all good. I will share the recipe once again. Eric Zane Show podcast, Slaughter the Turks, Armenian shish kebab. Those things that look like little potatoes, those are little potatoes. And you boil them and cook them completely before you put them on. This is the first time I've done it this way. Actually, I did it like this one other time, but this time worked out much better than the first time. I used to do it where I would have like people would go through the line and put what they want on their skewer, and then I would cook it up and have to remember whose was whose. But the problem with that is not all the food cooks at the same speed. Like vegetables cook at a different pace than chicken and beef and whatnot. So you put all vegetables on their own skewers. That line of white ones, those are all onions. To the right of it, all mushrooms. The dark meat is all beef. The lighter meat is all chicken. And boy, does that stuff cook fast. You're done. Just a handful of minutes. So make sure you don't throw all that shit onto one skewer, like vegetables with shrimp, with beef. It just doesn't work. So the way we do it now is go ahead, cook it all up, put them in their respective serving dishes, veggies in one, beef in the other, chicken in the other, shrimp in the other, and boom! Eat like kings. That chicken is especially spectacular because what you do is you zest a couple of oranges or an orange, and then you take the juice from the orange. That's part of the marinade. Same thing with a lemon, same thing with a lime. And then you add something known as tarragon leaves, which you chop those up and put them in the marinade with, and you let that marinate for a couple hours. The thing is, tarragon is hard to find, but it provides a flavor. I think it's pronounced anise, which is the smell, the taste of like licorice, black licorice. And it's very subtle, and it adds to the flavor of the citrus. It's important. You don't taste black licorice when you marinate it, but it's important for the recipe. But you cannot find that shit anywhere. So I racked the easy brain. I said, all right, substitute for fresh tarragon. And there's something you'll find in your grocer's produce section called fennel or fennel. It's like a big bulbous root. Nick is even saying mix tarragon and fennel for the best flavor ever. I wish I could have gotten the tarragon, but they had fennel. And I don't even know if I'm saying that right, so I'm just going to stick with fennel. But the fennel, there's these things that come off of it, and they're like wispy, like little hairs. They're called fronds. So I buy this big fucking bulb of fennel, and this is the type of thing in the store that nobody buys. And so I buy the fucking thing, and when you have to remove these little fronds and put them in this marinade. That anise I was telling you about, fennel, Aram says, thank you. That anise is what they use to make, it's a liqueur called absinthe, which I guess is extremely potent. And I was just reading about that when I was making this recipe. Jeremy says you have to find yourself an alternative Indian grocery store. Can you define what an alternative Indian grocery store is? When it's alternative, is it lifestyle or music? Or not, or neither? And when you say Indian, is it dots or feathers? Nick says just get the dried shit. Fennel seed. It's actually fennel, I guess. No. A fresh is better, dick. Jeremy says alternative is not Meyer. Indian is Dots. It's all those stores on division between 28th and 44. Chris adds Mediterranean Market out on Kalamazoo and 44th. Everything you need. Outstanding. Well, anyway, we crushed it. And a lot of extra food. Because I had bought food for Norman Bummer and his girlfriend. That's my half-brother Norman. My brother Jim. My nephew Zach. There was a ton of people that were going to be there. It's all fucked up over COVID. Good news to report, ladies and gentlemen, in the world of radio. Eric Zane's spirit animal, Kelly Cheese, is back with the crew. And we couldn't have been happier. There were rumors running wild about what could have happened. Disciplinary. But after she posted on Instagram about it, and I can't see it because she has mistakenly blocked me. I don't know why. And but somebody showed me that she posted on Instagram. I was like, well, if she was in trouble, she wouldn't have posted. And she dropped her pooch off at the neighbor's house, almost like she had to get out of here in a hurry. I'll bet you that something happened, like maybe somebody got sick or some type of emergency. So I hope she's okay. I don't know if she commented on the show. Some of my moles might check in with some information that she may have said. But I'm just glad she's back because we kind of need her, you know. Aram says, strange that people were discussing rumors. Exactly. I even heard one rumor that's not true. I mean, ridiculous. That authorities found out that she was, like, selling drugs through the mail and mailing pot back to Georgia. But that is not true. And that's nonsense to even suggest such a ridiculous thing. So that did not happen, thank God. I mean, that would be dumb. Only a moron would think that they could get away with that. So I'm glad she's not doing that. But I'm glad she's back. You know, we need her on the show. We have a Big Fraud Wednesday coming up. We're doing it a day earlier this week. We'll kick it off Wednesday at 6 p.m. with Who Are These Free Beers? And then after that, we will kick off the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. I have a clip that I want to share with you as a preview of the big show. This one goes back a handful of weeks, but I've been saving it. I've got a number of them that are kind of like archived that you've not heard before. And this one centers on our pal Hot Wings. They were having a discussion on the show about how it seems like more and more often families that are existing have fewer cousins. Essentially, this was based on people aren't having as many kids these days as they used to, and the millennial generation is experiencing these small numbers of cousins because of this. So they played a TikTok, and it was pointless. But Hot Wings made a point, and this is really all that Hot Wings needed to say here.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, my family, I have 5 cousins on both sides combined.
Wow.
Okay, that's it. He illustrated, my family, 5 cousins. That's it. And there's really nothing left to say there. However, the Wings feels he has to go through the whole family tree, which frustrates Freebeer, who eventually just jumps in and interrupts to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, so that generationally started earlier.
So let me just play it in how quickly it happens.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, my family, I have 5 cousins on both sides combined.
Wow.
And then he continues with, it's crazy. No, it's not.
Because my grandpa had. Yeah, and it's crazy because, so that generationally started earlier because my grandpa had, I think there were 13 of them, 13 or 14 kids, like a Catholic family, big Catholic family. And then they had 4. And then of those, my dad, there's 3 of us, and his brother had 2 kids, and the other 2 siblings, there was 1.
Is this going to add up to 5?
Yeah.
Because I get the number.
Are we doing
I don't need
math on
the
air?
diagram. It's just making my head go.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just whips out his dick and slaps him in the face with it. Oh, no. This clip really gives you a clear example of Hot Wings' inability to discern from what is boring and what is not. You ever get with that person who just goes on and on and on? You already said what's important. You don't need to give us the entire breakdown. God damn it. David says that's why he is the boring machine. And Hot Wings, or Freebeer, kept him on a short leash on that one and just let him have it. That was a fantastic interruption. Is the number going to equal 5?
Is this going to add up to 5? Because I get the
So are
number.
we doing
I don't
math
need
on
the
air?
diagram. It's just making.
I got the number, the diagram. I don't need the number. I don't need the diagram. It's just making my head hurt.
Making my head go.
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn. Just stops him right in his tracks. I mean, it was fucking rude. But you gotta do that with him. You have to. That was awesome. That was a good job by the Burn King to let him know that, look, dude, you can't. There are other things you're good at. This is not one of them. Shut the fuck up. Jesus. Okay, I'm about to kick folks out. If you're watching on Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube, it's time to say bye-bye. You can check out the rest of the show on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live. I have a Patreon where we have right now 57 episodes of Who Are These Freebeers? You go to patreon.com/Eric Zane, and we are nearing 200 episodes of the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. I just posted a new edition of the Lost Zane recordings from our WBBL days. All those shows are on there. We're nearing 500 shows on that. There's so much material for you to get lost in at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Sign up for free for 7 days at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Send me an email on the Shoreliners Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. And thank you for checking out the show on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.